Hey guys, welcome back to segment number 2 of this cash game. This is a 5 and 10 cent no limit Holdem game, and this is the same hand that I had when I ended the last video. And also I wanted to talk a little bit about the hand that I just doubled up on, or I didn't double up, but I picked up like $4 or so from this guy with Jack 9. He had queens, so I was trying to represent a bluff on the river, but technically I made the best hand on the river. I mean, I did have a club draw that allowed me to get there, and I mean, he bet it weekly. He let out on a flop for 10 cents when it was Jack 10, Jack 10 deuce. He let out for 10 cents, and yeah, he just played it horribly with queens there. There was no raise pre-flop with queens, and min bet on the flop. I mean, just bad play. So 6, 7, 8, 9. I got an open-ended straight draw, but the 10 would not be a very good out to see. It would give somebody an easier straight. So, club draw now. Still the open-ended straight draw, and I do have position. So if nobody bets, I will do 40 cents about pot size bet. Do have some outs. So, and it's going to win a pot. Okay, so ace queen, a little more uncommon hand, and especially 6 max. This is a stronger hand, and I am in position, not the best position, but still pretty good. So we're gonna raise it up like I'm just coming after the blinds. 35 cents. And that's gonna win the pot. King, queen, I'll do the same thing, just 30 cents. And like I said, when players are more aggressive, well, and as I say that, there's a raise from the button. Now, here's the thing, I've raised 2 hands in a row. This player now has the best position, so they're wanting to put more money in because they have the best position. I like that this player has called here, so I'm going to call. And I've already seen this same situation one time. I had king, queen, and the flop came out ace, king. I'm going to play it the same way. I mean, just checking it because it's very likely they have an ace. There's 2 players in here with me. That's decent size. And I just can't call that one. I mean, he re-raised pre-flop and showed more aggression on the flop with the ace. Yeah, I don't even know if he has an ace. He could be very likely bluffing. But I'm not willing to put the amount of money that he is in on a hand that I'm not sure if he's bluffing on. So we'll take the 30-cent loss, and I will fold here as well. So I get another shot with ace queen. This time I'm in bad position with the small blind. There's a limp from the button, so let's try and isolate that limp, make it 40. And I'm going to lead out on this flop, no matter what the flop is, if he calls. He does call, and I said I'm going to lead out on it no matter what, and I'm not going to change my mind just because I did make what I think is the best hand, because I think that he would think I would continue in with any hand. If I had king queen, I would still bet that flop. So now that I actually hit, I would think that he would maybe raise me if he has an ace as well. So again, I'm on the picking up these little better hands for 6 max. This time I'm on the button. I made the same exact play. 60 cents. I mean, there's 40 out there, and I have the best position, so they're not wanting to call that, and they all fold. And I wouldn't have minded a call. I mean, if they wanted to call and battle me, that's fine. I have best position and a good hand. So this time I'll limp. There's already a limper. I don't have the strongest of hands, but I have some possibilities. Suited connector. Now I have the best position, and I flop well. Straight and a flush draw. I need a 6 or a club. I'm gonna bet because now I'll likely have 2 chances to see a free card, or I'll have a free card if they call and check. On the next hand, I can check again and see a free card, so that's going to win the hand. Alright, so the big blind with king 8 offsuit. kind of have to wait to see what they do before I make my decision. There's a raise to 35 from a player in position, and that's something I'm just going to fold to with king 8. Small blind 10-7, another raise from early position. Okay, so ace queen suited again on the button, and I've made the same play the past 3 times I've had the button. I made it 60 cents from the button, and every time I did it I had a good hand, but you know, that's confusing to them. It makes them think that I'm doing that from the button every time. So I'm going to take it again here and just do the same raise. And there's one call, so he may have loosened up because I've done it 3 times. And I get 2 of them to call, and I flop well. So again, here's a spot where I said I would continue. This looks like a bluff. That's all this can look like is a bluff. I mean, why would I bet with position? Well, maybe they're not, you know, they flop nothing, but they're not able to play back in that spot, I guess. But I could have checked, but I think it would have looked like I would have flopped a queen more than what I wanted to represent was a continuation bet in position, but they just had nothing, so they couldn't continue. But if they had any part of that, they probably would have shoved. So I limp in. It's not a good call at all. But I did pick up position, and I do have another limper right here. And I don't flop anything. 30-cent bet, fold. Well, I sure get ace queen a lot. Ace queen suited in clubs again. I just had it a few hands ago. Literally, it was on the button when I had it. 35 center from the same guy who made it 35 cents last time. We're going to bump it up and see if he wants to play 140. He's got a similar size stack, so he doesn't want to get involved, and he does lay it down. And it also sends a message that says, stop coming after my blinds, you know. But I'm keep picking up these a little bit better than usual hands, so I'm able to do so. I'm just going to limp here. The smaller stack, he's going to raise it up. He's going to win it. Nice pot there with nice pot there, 20 cents. So I figured I would just show this hand. It was an all-in pre-flop. Ooh, aces versus kings. Yep. Big pot. So 9-jack. I'm in position. And I just re-raised this guy last hand, and now I'm coming after his blinds. Now, he just won a little bit more money, so maybe he's more willing to play, but yeah, still folds it. So we have 2 players well, 1 player just sat back in, but there were 2 sitting out. So look here, I'm able to be aggressive again. He's again in bad position. And I believe this guy did play back at me one time by raising to 80, and does the same exact play. So he's going to get a mouthful in just a moment here. $320. Yeah, one's the hand. 9-jack suited in the big blind, and they just fold to me. The hands just don't stop coming sometimes. Ace king. He's gonna raise here. He does. And this is live, by the way, guys. This is live. I'm not telling you. 220 is what I'm gonna raise to. They just think I'm being extremely aggressive. Wins the hand though. Not a bad hand from the button. Raise 30. Haven't had anybody call me in a while. I'm fine with taking blinds. 15 cents will add up. So you thinking about making it 80 again? Because I've raised this blind a lot. Yep, he's going to time out, and I'm going to win the hand. Eight, nine. I will just call. I'm going to limp. I've raised this guy so many times in a row. I had position on him, though. And I've limped here. I got a straight draw and a diamond draw with that card, but I'm able to represent a jack. Plus, I also have 2 draws. So, won the hand. Alright, so we're back on the big blind with 6-4 suited. Last hand, this guy here raised all of his money in with a bluff on the river. Lost his hand to this guy and then doubled up, or added back on. So he's back up to 10 bucks. Coming up to my blinds, I do have position. I'll call and hit trips, and he's very angry right now from losing the last hand. So I'm going to continue with my aggressive status, which I've had before. I'm not going to represent, I don't think it represents a 6. I think it represents a bluff with this bet. So hopefully he shoves, you know. I feel like he's on tilt, but he's able to make the fold. They're respecting my raises, even though they haven't seen many of my cards. But that's because I think they're being just as aggressive, or they're not being as aggressive, basically. My bets are bigger, but it's going to end up getting me paid in a big pot. One of these times they'll play back at one of those plays, and a lot of those plays are bluffs. So they just have to pick and choose between which of my bets are bluffs. So okay, so 10 jack suited, first position. I'm gonna try and slow it down. I mean, I'm not gonna raise it up because, you know, this is a hand that I don't mind some action, but I don't want to be the aggressor with just yet. I don't really have the winning hand just yet. I mean, queen high beats me right now, but so that's a solid flop for me. Flush draw, straight draw, 2 overs. Position, I'm going to try and get a little more in there. And they continue to have nothing. So, big blind. Forced to play this stuff. Will easily fold to a raise. Got a limp from the button there. Usually an indicator of a weak hand, but it doesn't have to be. They could easily limp in with a monster in this game because it is 6-handed, and people will change their play from aggressive to weak when they have a monster like that. So let's just try a little stab here. I mean, I do have a straight draw, but a limp from the button here tells me a hand like, well, jack 7. I mean, it tells me some weak, I don't know, what do they have down there, who knows, but I bet, and I won the hand with 3-8. So ace jack suited, and I think I'm going to make this my last hand of the video. And we have a big pot already started. He's made it 50 cents. He does have position. There's enough money in there for me, so I will call. And this guy's going to take his time thinking. And he does fold. Okay, so I flopped the flush draw. Obviously, I want to continue on this hand, but I'm not going to do any wagering. Although I am going to think about it for a bit and make him think that I might have a hand, so he tries to keep it cheaper. But if he bets big, 70 cents. To me, it's likely he's on a bluff right now. So I'm going to make a play back at him. I'm going to make an amount right now that I think he can call, but he's going to want to fold. And if he doesn't just, you know, shove, then I'm probably going to win the hand. I mean, he does call. I think my only play